Hi, guys. Welcome to this episode of Powerful Podcast. We're going to be talking a little bit about meditation and the benefits of meditation in a realistic world and a realistic setting. So today I have Yogi Bryan with me, one of my good TikTok creator friends. So welcome on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kylie. Thanks for having me on. Love your content on TikTok. And it's amazing how social media can bring, you know, relationships together and things like that. Now we're here on a podcast. That's so cool.
I know, it's crazy. So, fun fact, Yogi Bryan and I are actually both from Arizona. We met while I was still in Arizona, but now I'm currently in Nashville. And I love that, like you said, social media can bring people from anywhere, whether it's close by or far away, together, all for the same purpose, as long as, people are interested in what we have to offer. So, I'm
Yes.
excited to hear a little bit more about you because we mostly talk about TikTok stuff. So,
Right.
how did you find yoga and meditation? What's your story with that?
Yeah. And so it was an accident. I started an Instagram account back in 2016 to solely make fun of yoga. I didn't have any intentions on practicing. I dabbled with yoga before. I did some Kundalini, some Bikram, some yoga at Lifetime Fitness when I used to work there back in the day. So I dabbled in it, but I wasn't really I didn't have a consistent practice. I thought yoga was funny. Like I thought it was a little ridiculous. So I created an Instagram account to make fun of it because I saw one of my friends, she was doing a yoga challenge on Instagram. So she would post, but she would post in the most ridiculous places. She would post a yoga asana pose on top of the kitchen counter, on her bed, all over the place. And it was just part of the challenge she was doing at her yoga studio. I thought this was super ridiculous. So I was like, I should just make an Instagram and do the same type of stuff, do yoga. I think my first post was I did chair pose on top of a bunk bed and I said elevating my practice. So I was doing that, and after like a week or two, I think I had like 1,000 followers. It was growing pretty fast. So
Okay.
I thought, at the time, I thought I was super famous, an influencer. I had 1,000 followers. That maybe I should go practice yoga. So I found a yoga studio down in Phoenix. I became a member, and I was just practicing to learn more about yoga, to make fun of it, and then I just fell in love with the practice. My body was getting healthier. I was losing some weight. My anxiety and just some of the depression was starting to go away. And I just really saw the benefits. Then I signed up for a yoga teacher training, ended up taking yoga teacher training. And it was just like one of those, you knew you're on the right path. Everything was just falling into place for me. During my yoga teacher training, towards the end of the training, I told the owner of the studio, I was like, hey, I can volunteer for this rooftop yoga class that you're doing, which like 200 people are there. And she's like, how about you teach half the class? And I was like, holy crap. I started getting super nervous. I said, yes, of course. You always got to say yes to the opportunities. And I ended up teaching half the class in front of 200 people. And that was my first time ever teaching yoga, was just in front of that many people. And
Oh my
and
goodness.
and thanks. And I was so nervous for the whole week or two before it that, once I taught that, I haven't been as nervous ever teaching anything because they just threw me into the fire that way. And then it just progressed, yoga. And then I did a meditation challenge later on in my practice, 2019. I just challenged myself to 90 days of meditation, whether or not I liked it or not. After 90 days, I was going to quit it if I
Okay.
didn't like it. And I did not like it until day 77. So it took me
That's a skill.
77 days. Yeah, it took me 77 days to actually like meditation. And then I've been meditating ever since,
Okay.
podcasts, just developing my practice. So yeah, it's all been like an accident. It's all just been going with the universe, going with the flow.
No, I can relate to that. I was not into yoga. I had a bad breakup in high school and I had nothing else to do. And our
Mm.
gym had just opened up right next door. I could literally walk to it. So I was like, you know what? There's a class. I'm just going to go to this thing. And kind of same thing. You get out of your own headspace and there's just this feeling that comes over your whole body and allows you to feel so much better and more aware. And it was less thinking of all the external things happening in my life and just focusing on what I was doing in the present. And that's what kicked off my practice. So I can
Love
relate.
it.
Um, I
Yeah,
know.
especially breakups too. I mean, I was going through at that time, I was going through divorce. So it's like, anybody out there listening, if you're going through a breakup, like starting a yoga practice or anything new, it's just great to get out of that space. Did you feel that? You feel that way? Just like starting
I
something new?
started going like 2 or 3 times a day. It was an aggressive approach, but I just loved how good I felt. And that's what led to the snowball of, okay, I want to start helping other people feel this way. So within a year, I was in a yoga teacher training program too. And I was
Yes.
17 at the time. So I've been teaching, goodness, since 2016. That feels like a long time ago now.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Um, and now, kind of like you, I know you have gotten some additional certifications. Same thing, I went and did my 500-hour yoga therapy sessions. I've done booty movement yoga therapy and a couple different certifications that I love. But I have a question for you because I saw this on your page and I don't know much about it. Tell me about your NLP and your hypnotherapy certification.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. I love that stuff. So last year I took four, maybe five, but four in-person hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming trainings. And I did that because during my meditation journey, my meditation practice, I said I meditated that 90 days in a row. And during that 90 days, I was trying all different types of meditations. I was on an app. I was either on Insight Timer on YouTube, just trying different meditations out because there's so many meditations out there and people can get stuck. I know I got stuck with where do I start? What meditations do I start? And
Yeah.
because there's so many out there, I challenge people listening to just try out all different types of meditations because what I might like, you might like something different. So as I was figuring out different meditations, I found a guy, Michael Seeley, on YouTube, and he
Okay.
does sleep hypnosis. And so,
Interesting.
yeah, it's awesome. He's awesome on there. And I was doing it, and I found that I would fall asleep really fast, because I had problems sleeping, or at least falling asleep. And I
Okay.
would put on these hypnosis audios on YouTube, and I was out and to a different world in the cosmos and feeling like great when I woke up. So then I started, really like yoga nidra, type of a meditation and different meditations. And I realized when I was listening to these hypnosis audios that it's the same thing. It's meditation and hypnosis is guided meditation, and hypnosis is pretty much the same structure.
Yeah.
So I got into, I started reading books on hypnosis. I was practicing on my son, who was 8 years old at the time. And I would be able to put him to sleep, at his bedtime, just in 5 minutes. Even when he was like, don't hypnotize me, I don't want to go to sleep, gone, out, falling asleep.
Impressive.
Yeah, yeah, even with when he didn't want to. And I'm like, okay, this is powerful. So I took an online training with my teacher, Dr. David Snyder. And then, yeah, last year I went, he does his trainings in Vegas. He does them all over the country, but I went to Vegas. I did a 5-day hypnotherapy boot camp, and I just really did it to get the certification, get the certificate. But going to that training, I was hypnotized over 100 times because you hypnotize each other.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was hypnotized over like hundreds of times, and it was just like I was getting a hypnotherapy for that 5 days. And I
Yeah.
really came out of that training like there was trauma, there was stress, there was situations that are completely gone
Wow.
after that training, which I'm in and out of therapy since I've been like 10 years old. So I've had like mental health stuff. And that was just so powerful for me. So then I just took more trainings, body language trainings, neurolinguistic programming. It's all about language. So, like neuro, it's neurology, and then linguistic, your language, and then programming, reprogramming your unconscious mind. So basically in NLP, neurolinguistic programming, our words and our language is like the code. It's like a computer. So
Yeah.
it's like the code. So you're telling me your code, and I can listen to like what type of code you're saying. Like, are you Are you a visual person? Are you a kinesthetic person? Are you like an auditory person in terms of how you imagine and how you think? So it's basically using words like as you begin to, soon, slowly, deeper, stop, start. So a lot of words, when I say stop, the unconscious mind stops, like your mind stops. And when I say start or go, so it's basically using neurolinguistic programming to reprogram your unconscious mind. So I use that a lot in my meditations and sleep meditations, yet to facilitate bigger change within your mind.
I love that. That's so cool. Do you feel like, and I feel like I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You have a huge following. So clearly, what you're doing is connecting with people, and people are really resonating with what you have to offer. Do you feel like people are having those success stories?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I get a lot of great feedback with DMs or people telling me like, hey, I've listened to a lot of different meditations, but yours just take me deeper. I can fall asleep, you know, and I love that. And it is just simple usage of neurolinguistic programming. And it's, with hypnosis, I get this a lot where they're like, oh, I don't want to get stuck in hypnosis, or I don't want to balk like a chicken or do something where they see on TV.
Mhm.
Well, your unconscious mind always protects you no matter what, no matter who's hypnotizing you or no matter what meditation you're doing. Like your unconscious mind will always get you out of a situation that you're not safe in. So, the Hollywood movies, they're just fictional. And like your unconscious mind is where all the stuff is at. Our whole reality is deep in our unconscious mind. And what I've learned is sometimes we're not even conscious. We don't even know what the issue is. We have no clue what the issue is. And you don't really have to know what the issue is. Like your unconscious mind can figure it out through metaphors or through language or through pictures or through colors. So I do a lot. My teacher, Dr. David Snyder, he taught me a lot about colors and getting into your body. With meditation, when I first started meditation, you're just sitting. So you're not really in your body. So sometimes it's tough to, deal with trauma or just feel better with your anxiety because you're just sitting there, and it's like you got to do something with your body. Like you got to get into your body a little bit more with breathing, or actually like going for a walk, or maybe yoga or qigong or fitness. You got to get into your body sometimes because our trauma and our anxiety is stored there. So with what Dr. David Snyder told me is like, sometimes, when you close your eyes, just point to where you feel the, the stuck energy, or point to where you feel it in your body, because you're storing it in your body somewhere. And then once you point to where you feel it, so say if you're dealing with a breakup, maybe it's in your heart space. Okay, so that's where your feeling is. What color do you see? And then you see a color. It can be multiple colors, and sometimes people don't see a color at all. And then you pull that color out of your body. You pull it out of your body, and then you do something with it. So you can toss it into a fire. You can spin it a different direction. There's a lot of things you can do with that color once it's out. And that's the metaphor. That's where the healing takes place. So yeah, very powerful.
I love that. I think it's so important to recognize that our mind is managing so many things outside of the surface level that we're thinking of on a day-to-day basis, whether that's daily anxieties and stresses or to-do lists or conversations that we're having. There is so much underneath the surface. So what we
Yes.
think and what we do is so powerful. And when we can think more intentionally, like in a meditation setting, we can really make so many positive changes.
Absolutely. And I love that you said positive changes, because, I've fell into the trap where, in meditation, I'm just observing my thoughts. Well, sometimes those thoughts are intrusive thoughts,
Yeah.
and sometimes those thoughts are just unnecessary. And like in meditation, if you fall down the intrusive path, and you're accepting those intrusive thoughts, like that could take you down to spiral and make your mental health worse. So sometimes meditation can make your mind worse. And I've found that with just what I go through, it can make it worse sometimes. So like, what do I have to do? It's like, okay, before I meditate, it's a preparation. You got to prepare yourself. I write like a gratitude list. I do some breathing. I get into like a good state of mind. And then if you catch yourself going in those intrusive thoughts, it's just like, stop it. Don't, I'm not even going there. And that's one thing I've like recently learned. I deal with OCD sometimes.
Mhm.
And if you deal with OCD, sometimes meditation can make it worse. So it's an actual like effort. Like when I'm in meditation, if an intrusive thought starts coming, I'm like, I'm not even dealing with it. Stop it. Just,
Okay.
I don't even like mindfully pay attention to it. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because sometimes meditation can make the mind even worse. So it's like finding these tools for you.
Yeah, it's almost like we use light a lot, just like color you mentioned, that darkness or that lightness. And lightness is more of that positive side, but we can get stuck in those black holes when we're in a shavasana or in a meditation. You're like, oh shit, like I can't believe I have this going on later today. And then that snowballs and then it leads to bigger problems. So when we do have a positive meditation and we're really intentional about what we're doing, what do you find are some of the biggest benefits of regular meditation?
Yeah, the biggest benefits of regular meditation is to say mindfulness meditation. If you're just aware of your breath, you're aware of your body, and you're aware of your thoughts. It's very simple. I get a lot of people that say I can't meditate because I can't shut off my mind. Well, you don't have to shut off your mind. Your mind's a powerful tool and it's here to protect you and it's here to think for you. So you're not going to really shut that off. So it's like, well, pay attention to your breath. How does your breath feel? Pay attention to your body. How's your body feeling today? Like, our bodies go day to day. And then pay attention to your thoughts. So it's just watching your thoughts like you're watching a movie, just seeing your thoughts come in and come out. And the biggest benefit of meditation is awareness. It's awareness. What is going on in your body? What's going on with your thoughts? Awareness. Because what's outside of your awareness is outside of your control. So if you're not aware of something, how are you going to change it? If you're in denial with something, you're not going to even feel the pain to change it. So with mindfulness and meditation, it's just like, okay, what am I aware of right now? What's going on with my life? It's not necessarily for me. It's not really, it doesn't solve my problems. When I sit and meditate, it shows me what the problem is, and then I can take action on the problem. I get so many ideas of content, TikTok content or like memes or what I should do next, or like manifesting something during my meditation to take action later.
Mhm.
So it's like such a powerful tool for awareness because most of us don't even know what what's controlling us. As I like became more aware and started learning hypnosis, I'm like, okay, like the media is totally reprogramming me, or just a lot of things are reprogramming me, or I'm like in a lot of habits that aren't good for me. So how do I get out of these bad habits to get into good habits? So awareness is the key.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily just social media, as though I believe and agree with you. That's a huge factor. It can also be the way we grew up, the people we were surrounded with, the books we read, the actions we take. All of those things subconsciously affect our mind and how we think and how we perceive things, and then how we take action on those things.
Yes. Yeah, how we take
Kind of almost
action.
have to unlearn that stuff to start fresh and take a new approach.
Absolutely. Unlearn it. And, it's one question I do every day, even during my meditation and my journaling, is I just ask myself, what do I really want? Like, what do I want? What do I want? Because, you know, my teacher even says this, especially with hypnosis meditation, like there's always something to fix with your past. Like it's unlimited. You can always find some shit to fix and some trauma. It's like, oh, this popped up. You can always find something, but it's like, okay, like let's just move forward. Like let's move forward here.
Mhm.
There's a certain amount of work you can do on yourself until you're like, okay, let's move forward. What do I want now? What do I
Mhm.
want to manifest? What do I want to create? What do I want today? Instead of being a people pleaser, what do I want? So it's a powerful question.
I love that. And I also want to take note too for a lot of people who are on here, in the sense of imposter syndrome, trauma does not have to be a very large, tragic event, which it can be. And that's what society tells us it is. But it can be any sort of event that has affected your thought processes, your self confidence, the way you move, the way you act, the way you think. anything that's intrusive that has affected you is inherently infecting the inside of your body and that
Mm,
subconscious we talked about earlier.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so on point with that. Yeah. It doesn't have to be something big. It could literally be like you were alone in a dark room when you're 5 years old and you felt alone. Like that's really what the trauma could be. And yeah, you're so right on that. You're so right on that. And like how you said imposter syndrome, that's why I love talking with creators like you, because a lot of, I talk with a lot of people like new yoga teachers or new meditation guides or new anything. And it's so tough for them to make content. It's so tough for them to get out to the world because it's like, yeah, dealing with imposter syndrome. Like, am I really like, should I really be talking about this? Am I qualified enough? And it's like, yes, 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 you are. If you know it, if you can teach, like one of my favorite yoga teachers, Brian Kest, says that, it's just like it's just like sharing a good recipe, right? If you have a good recipe and you share that recipe with your friend, like you're sharing out of love and like how to make this. So it's like that's just how like yoga, fitness, meditation, whatever you're doing, like can you share the recipe and do you know that? And yes, can you share it? Then share it.
I love that. I like that way that you incorporated it because I think that a lot of times we talk in such technical terms, whether it's in yoga or fitness or nutrition, and sometimes we just need a real world example. Like I'm a visual person. I make fun of this moment probably in all my sessions now because I didn't have anything in front of me and I wanted to make an example. All I had was like a pile of pens on the floor and I'm like, look at all these pens. And I made a reference, but even though it was so stupid, it made sense to her, which again,
Yes.
it was so stupid, but it's like sometimes we just have to recognize that although things seem overwhelming or maybe intense or they're new to us, if we can break them down as simple as sharing a recipe, planting a garden, going on a walk, whatever it is that's the daily reoccurrence that we go through and we can relate that, it makes it so much more easy to follow through on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, you just reminded me when you were saying that, just simpling it down, the pens. And it's like, most of our students or most of the people that are listening to us, like they don't know all the, yeah, they don't know all the technical terms, like, what the Sanskrit warrior two is, or, you know, NLP. And it's like, I barely even know what hypnosis and NLP is. So it's like someone that hasn't heard of it at all, is not going to know that stuff. Like what they know is like, hey, I'm struggling. I'm not feeling good. I need some help,
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how it's like going to the symptoms first. It's like, okay, you're feeling anxiety. Okay. Like you can do this, this, and this for it. So yeah, I'm glad you said that with the pens. Yeah, it's so true. Just really making it simple.
And I think too, just I've heard clippets. I haven't gone full down the rabbit hole on your Spotify, but it seems like your meditations are different than, like you said, even with a Hollywood example of hypnosis, maybe the stereotypical version of a meditation where you're sitting there and it's calm and there's gongs chiming. You kind of take a real world approach to a meditation.
Yeah, thank you. And I really try and do that. And I think that's why people relate to me is because I'm a normal guy. Like I struggle. I like to drink beers here and there. Like I like to have a good time. I and it's I try not to be competitive. And I really like truth is like one of my things. It's like how can I share my most authentic truth and make fun of the yoga community as well, because yoga community is a little ridiculous sometimes with like how this isn't yoga, this isn't meditation, you can't curse in meditation. I have one podcast where it's rated G, there's no curse words at all, and then I have another podcast, it's just fucking meditation, which curses and there's gets a little vulgar, and people like that and people like this other one. So I have it for both worlds, but I just want to make it accessible for everybody, because there's a lot of people that don't do yoga or don't meditate because they don't like this stuffiness, this, oh, I went to India 5 times and my teacher's this, and, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be in yoga class. And I can't stand that stuff,
Yeah.
because what it comes down to, like, my goal is to help people. I want them to feel better. And I don't care what you call it, because people get stuck in like, oh, it's yoga, like the name yoga.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what happens if you didn't call it yoga and you did the same shit? Your neurology is going to respond the same way. Your body's going to respond the same way. Like if you called it whatever.
No, it's true.
So
I mean, even just when I was like fully supporting myself through undergrad by teaching yoga, I'd have my friends come up to me and they're like, oh, I could never do yoga. I'm like, why? I'm not flexible. It's not just a mind block, it's a body block. And I think we have to let go of those stereotypical aspects, because it's the same thing as the gym, or it's the same thing as eating well. There's stereotypical versions of what that can look like in a gym, or what that could look like in a kitchen. But those things, just like yoga or meditation, are not one size fits all. We have to find those niches that fit specifically for our needs and what fits for our personality type and how we process things.
exactly. 100%, 100%. Because with hypnosis, it doesn't matter what you call it. Like it's your neurology. Like we're talking the same nerves that we're doing. That yoga, same thing. I don't care what you call it. It's going to affect you that way. So that, yeah, I just love, having the comedy aspect of it too, is because people can relax a little bit more and be like, okay, yoga police. I love the yoga police ones that I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, yeah, it shouldn't be taken so seriously. And I got to tell myself that. I tell myself it's just fucking yoga, it's just fucking meditation, because I have to tell myself that. I'm a competitive person. I grew up playing golf, in tournaments, and it's like, this is not a competition with anybody else. Like this is for me to
Yeah.
like be in my body, nobody else's body. It's like my body, but I can share that.
Okay. I love that. So if we were to go to your programs, it's just fucking yoga and then your G-rated podcast. What do you see on there? Like if someone was to go there, how long are the sessions? Do they range in times? And what can people really expect and prepare for if they're going to pop on over?
Yeah, and thanks for asking that. They're very short, anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes. Very easy meditations there, and they'll expect, if they go, it's just fucking meditation, they're gonna laugh. I don't really have scripts when I go on there. I just really go by my feel, randomness, and I even make myself laugh. Like some of the meditations, I'm laughing a little bit in there, so you have a good time on those, and you'll get deep change that way, because cursing opens up the unconscious mind, because it kind of like shocks your conscious mind. You're like, oh, he said the F-bomb. And then you can relax a little bit and then get more change in your unconscious mind. So it's actually scientific. And then, so that's that podcast. And there's some sleep meditations there to get you to relax, sleep, yoga nidra. And then on Relax with Yogi Bryan, there's over 150 meditations, and there's all different types: headache relief, of a headache relief meditation, yoga nidras, sleep meditations. My sleep meditations and yoga nidras do the best. So if you're really struggling with falling asleep or having panic attacks, yeah, go there, and I pretty much guarantee that you'll fall asleep.
Yeah, I am a sucker for some yoga nidra. I will tell you that the first time I went into a class, it was in person, pre-COVID, probably in 2018. I don't remember a single bit of that class. I'm gonna be
That's
very
awesome.
honest. They're like, okay, and we're done. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, did I fall asleep? Was I snoring? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
And sometimes your mind just needs to check out because of all the overwhelm.
Yeah,
So it's perfect for relaxation and sleep. I love that.
it is. I love yoga nidra. It's one of my favorite practices. If you want a nice little midday nap, do a little yoga nidra session around 1 or 2 after you eat lunch, and it'll just help you out. So
I
good.
love that. Okay. What if I put you on the spot? How would you feel about being put on the spot?
Sure, do it. Yeah, let's do it.
What if we did like a little tester, like 5-minute meditation for people that are on here that are interested in starting meditation, maybe, but just want a taste of it before diving into the rabbit hole?
Let's do it.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
be here, but I'm going to shut my
Yeah.
eyes.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, are you good with
Okay.
that?
Yeah. Let's do it now. Yeah.
I
I'm
promise to put you on
100%
the
good with
spot.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I love it. I'm ready and prepared. So
Okay. I mean,
yeah,
it's your thing. I know it's your mojo, so I'm excited to
sure.
try it out.
Awesome. Yeah. Get prepared. So you can do this seated, and Kylie, you're seated there, and anybody else listening, you can do this seated or on a chair, a meditation cushion, bar stool. I mean, any place where you can just sit, or you can lie down. You can lie down and do this. But just find a place that's safe for you. If you're driving right now, maybe pull over because you could fall asleep, and that's okay. But yeah, once you find that place, softly, gently close your eyes. Softly, gently close your eyes and clear away any to-do list for your day, and clear away any expectations for this meditation. Because during this meditation, all you have to do is breathe and listen to the sound of my voice. And at any time, if you hear any sounds in your room or sounds outside the room, those sounds will allow you to relax even more, because those sounds are supposed to be there and you're supposed to be here. So just completely let go of all your expectations and bring your attention and awareness to your breathing, attention and awareness to your breath. There's nothing to do or control with your breathing. Just observe your breath. Just noticing your inhale and your exhale. Full awareness, full attention to your breathing. And now start to take control of your breathing with your mouth closed. Breathe in and out through your nose. And find a comfortable, steady, natural, and intuitive breath. A comfortable, steady, natural, and intuitive breath for you. And you soon start to realize you're relaxing, you're arriving, and you're here listening to the sound of my voice. That's right. Now bring your awareness and attention to your body. And just notice you have this body. And take a scan of your body all the way from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Take a scan of your body all the way up and all the way down. And as you scan your body, notice where you feel the tension in your body. Pinpoint those spots where you feel the tension. And once you pinpoint those spots where you feel the tension, send your breath to that tension and send your awareness to that tension. Once you send your breath to that tension, once you send your awareness to that tension, your body knows exactly how to release that tension. So allow your body to release that tension. Your body knows exactly what to do. Each and every breath you take, that tension dissolves into space. That tension solved and dissolved into space. Feeling a wave of relaxation all the way up and all the way down. Each and every breath you take floods the body with relaxation. And now bring your awareness and attention to your thoughts. And just watch your thoughts like you're watching a movie. Just allow your thoughts to roll in and roll out like you're seeing your thoughts on a TV screen. Nothing to do or control. Just watch your thoughts. Just observe your thoughts. And as you're watching your thoughts on this TV screen, the TV screen gets smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller until you just can't see the TV screen anymore. Completely relaxing your mind, turning the volume all the way down, down, and down, deeper and deeper, down, down. That's right. Fully relaxing, fully settling as you breathe and as you listen to the sound of my voice. And in just a moment, I wonder if you can think of a time where you felt so safe and so secure. In just a moment, not yet, you'll go to this place where you felt so safe and so secure. It could be a time in your childhood, or maybe a current time, or maybe it's a make-believe place. One person I know, her safe place was on a sandy beach with her feet in the sand as she was looking out into the horizon as the sun starting to set. Another person I know, his safe place is on his favorite hiking trail in the forest, trees on both sides, feeling so peaceful. In just a moment, I wonder where your safe place is. And you'll go to that safe place. You'll be there. You'll see it. You'll feel it. You'll hear it. And you'll feel so safe and so secure. Now, go to your safe place. Where's your safe place? First thing that comes to your mind. Find that safe place. If you can see it, if you can feel it. Some people might not see it, and that's okay. Just stay with the feeling of the safe energy. Go into your safe place now. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? You're here in your safe place. And now allow that safe place in your mind to fade away, but stay with the feeling of this safe energy. There's a place in your body where you feel this safe energy. Locate it, pinpoint it. Where in your body do you feel this safety, this love, this energy? And once you know exactly where it is, you may start to see a color. First color that comes to your mind, first color you see. And once you see that color, it could be multiple colors. Or you might not see a color at all, and that's okay. Stay with the feeling. But what color do you see coming from this safe place that you feel in your body? Once you see that color starts to float out of your body over your head. This color, this safe energy, this love floats out of your body over your head. And it starts to fill up your entire room from wall to wall, floor to ceiling. This safe energy, this color, this unconditional love, this safety starts to fill up your entire room, fills up your entire room so much that it starts to rain down on your body, flooding your body with this safe energy. Every single cell, every single muscle fiber full of this safe energy, full of this color, feeling the sensations in your body. Some people feel a tingling up and down their spine. Other people feel a sense of warmth, a sense of heat. Feel this safe energy all throughout your body, floods the entire room with this safe energy. Feeling so good, so safe. Feel the sensations, feel this safe energy. I'll give you some time. Feeling this safe energy and taking this energy with you throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, throughout your year. And at any time you need to feel this safety, this unconditional love, no matter where you are, you can always go back to your safe place. You can always go back to that place. And whenever you're ready, you can start to come out of this meditation, opening your eyes, maybe wiggling the fingers, shaking out the shoulders. Whenever you're ready, just open your eyes, come back to the present moment, and taking this feeling with you, this energy with you. How you feeling?
Oh my goodness. I always tear when I'm in like a nidra or a meditation. I can feel it coming. I was like, ah.
Yeah, that one's a little emotional sometimes, but I love sharing that because everybody can find their safe place. You know, we all need that safe place sometimes.
I love that. That felt so good. And I
Thank you.
have the ironies of this backstory that you were like, any sounds that happen outside of you are going to help. And I kid you not, a moving truck comes by, then a plane overhead, and usually I'd be like, oh no, I hope they can't hear it on that my audio. And I was just sitting there, I'm like, this is
It'll
life.
just relax you even
Okay.
more. Yep. Mhm.
And that was wonderful. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that today. I know I put you on the spot.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, it was longer than 5 minutes, but I felt it. I felt like that needed to be shared.
I appreciate that. So, listening to your podcast, we can go to Relax with Yogi Bryan,
Yeah.
and it's just fucking yoga, right?
It's just fucking meditation for R-rated meditations, and it Relax with Yogi Bryan. You can find them on all podcast platforms. Yeah, so check them out or check out. I have an app, Relax with Yogi Bryan app on Android, Apple. You can just search Relax with Yogi Bryan, and it's there. So yeah,
I love that. And you have some big trips coming up too, some workshops. What are those looking like?
yeah. I got a retreat in Costa Rica, May 2023, May 1st through the 6th. So check that out. It's almost sold out. So hopefully by the time that this is out, there'll still be some spots. Been very grateful with that. I got a meditation teacher workshop. There's gonna be one in August, but depending on when this comes out, I think I'll have one next year as well. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up. But yeah, if you're listening, you just search Yogi Bryan on Google, it'll come up. You can check out the website, see what's happening. Always something new.
Honestly, all platforms are great. I've been following Yogi Bryan for quite some time on TikTok and Instagram, and it's just as good there as it is anywhere else. I can guarantee it.
Thank you. You too. I love your content. I love the stuff you're putting out there, really helping people. And especially after what you've accomplished. Can't wait to see what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for spending quite a bit of time with us today. And I hope that, my goal with today is that one new person at least is just really resonating with this and willing to make a change or try something new to feel that sense of relief and relaxation.
Yes. And we'll have to collab. We'll have to do a collab on TikTok or Instagram. We'll have to do it. Challenge or something.
We'll be on bunk beds.
Yes. Yes. Do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, you can always come back to the Powerful podcast for an integrative approach to health. So we look at internal, physical, and mental aspects of health and how it really just allows us to take control of our body. Talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
Thank you guys for checking out Powerful today. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to follow or subscribe to our content on YouTube, on our podcast services, as well as on Instagram. You can find us at PWHRFL.